All right. I think we got it up. All right. Let's do this. Today's agenda. Introduction to ChatGPT. We're also going to get started with ChatGPT on tips and tricks for success, and then go into how content creation is made. So some magic with ChatGPT. All right. This is what I like to call how AI can destroy barriers for us. So take a little watch for this. You might remember Belinda from earlier this week.
No, this is so good. My eyes are getting teary.
Oh, that's so sweet. Sorry.
I mean,
Oh,
I
that's
live
cool.
this story, but it's so amazing to see it this organized and
Yep.
outlined. This is so cool.
And then how long did it take us?
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing. Right.
And that's right. So what do you enjoy, right? You enjoy the creative part, right?
Yeah.
You don't want to spend the time on outlining and this thing and that setup and this format.
Right.
And you're like, I'm dying. I don't want to do that. And so maybe that was part of, what was stopping you. I don't know.
That's right.
And
Right.
so now you don't have to deal with that part. You can be the creative part and let ChatGPT do that other work for you.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, so ChatGPT can not only write content, but it can help you organize. So her barrier was to get her book. She'd already written it, and it's a children's book, and she just didn't know how to get it all organized and outlined. And so just putting it into ChatGPT and having it just organized for her really, really helped her. And obviously you can tell from the video that it meant a lot and saved her a bunch of time. All right.
Axio Day, 3 of the AI Business Launcher Challenge. Hello, magical entrepreneurs and muggle friends. I'm Harry Potter, and I'm here to introduce Day 3 of the AI Business Launcher Challenge, brought to you by the power of AI technology. Today, we'll be diving into the enchanting world of ChatGPT, an incredibly powerful AI tool that's bound to make your business journey more exciting than a Quidditch match. Who knew starting a business could be as thrilling as chasing the golden snitch, right? Now you might be wondering, Harry, how can AI help me with my business? Well, fear not, my fellow wizards and witches. Our wonderful presenter will be revealing the secrets of ChatGPT and how it can assist you in tasks like customer support, content creation, and brainstorming ideas for your business, all without the need for any potions or charms. So, buckle up your broomsticks and prepare to be amazed as our presenter shows you the magical powers of ChatGPT. And remember, if a boy who lived under the stairs can become a wizard, then you too can conquer the world of entrepreneurship with a little help from AI. Without further ado, let's welcome our spellbinding presenter for Day 3 of the AI Business Launcher Challenge. Expecto Patronum. Let the show begin. Axio Day.
All right, little intro from Harry there. Let's get this going. ChatGPT, what is it? So I asked ChatGPT, but basically ChatGPT is an advanced artificial intelligence language model. So it's developed by OpenAI that can generate human-like responses to prompts given to it. Keyword, the prompt. It is based on deep learning algorithm and trained on massive amounts of data to understand language and generate coherent responses. And it all depends on what you give it as a prompt is what you're going to get. The more detailed, the better. Okay, like this is kind of funny. This is a conversation with ChatGPT. He says, thanks, and ChatGPT says, you're welcome. If you have any more questions or need assistance, feel free to ask. I'm here to help. The user says, I always say thanks, just in case you take over the world. Maybe you'll spare me, hopefully. And ChatGPT says, as an AI, I do not have the ability to take over the world or spare anyone. My purpose is to assist users with information and tasks to the best of my ability. Rest assured, I'm here to help, and your thanks is always appreciated. So thanks is appreciated. All right, here's some limitations on ChatGPT. Now, these are changing as we speak. There are plugins that can give access to ChatGPT, but generally speaking, these limitations do hold to be true. So, and that goes for if you're using the free version. So if you use the ChatGPT 4, you can add plugins. But static knowledge, the knowledge is limited to September of 2021. So any development after 2021 of September, ChatGPT is not aware of that information. Doesn't have an ability to verify information. So like I said, can't access internet, but with the introduction of plugins, now that is going away. Ambiguity and inconsistency. So sometimes ChatGPT provides ambiguous or inconsistent answers, especially when forced with or faced with complex or controversial topics. So, you know, moral dilemmas and that such, but we also talked about earlier this week, if you remember, the attorney who tried to use it in his courtroom, which was not smart. All right, so last one, lack of personal experience. As an AI, I lack personal experiences and emotions, which may sometimes limit my understanding and responses. So remember, it's not emotional yet, it's not alive. Okay, limited text processing. This is important. So for ChatGPT 4, and that's the paid version, anything below that is free. So ChatGPT 4, 25,000 word input limit. So when you're pasting in Word, it's up to 25,000, which is a lot more than it used to be at 8,000 with the 3.5 version. Now, here's some tips on how to get around limited responses. So if you type in a long process and you're asking it to do a complicated task on like writing a book or something, and it's giving you a response and all of a sudden it stops, you can just have it continue. Just say, hey, finish or continue writing. And then it will continue its response. Just simple. You can also use an outline to break up the complex task. And you can break up the answer to smaller portions. So you direct ChatGPT to write a 500-word response instead of allowing it to just continue. You give it limitations so that you don't have to have it stop in the middle of its thought. Okay. So this is other limitations. These are important ones. So this is from OpenAI, who owns ChatGPT. OpenAI's terms of use state that the owner owns the input they provide and any output generated by ChatGPT. So they let you know that you own it, but there's a but, because it's the ownership of AI generated content is still being processed by the legal field, and especially copyrights, and under current US law, there's just no way to protect it. So I mentioned this earlier, but the US Copyright Office recently issued guidance on copyright registration for works containing AI generated material. And applicants seeking copyright registration must disclose any AI generated content in their work and provide an explanation of the human author's contributions. So works that incorporate AI elements can qualify for copyright protection if there's sufficient human authorship involved. So this can be in the form of selecting or arranging AI generated material in a unique, creative, or modifying a creative way, or modifying AI generated content to the point where it meets copyright protection standards. So what that means, when it comes to large language models, LLMs, like ChatGPT, without substantial human modification, you will likely not be eligible for copyright protection. Now, that doesn't negate you from using it and actually putting out products, but it does limit your ability to copyright a product. Now, that's going to be ever changing and evolving as we go, because so many people will begin to use AI. But if that's set in stone, I mean, that's one way how you're going to stand out too in generating content yourself. Or you can also just use ChatGPT for brainstorming. And if you're stuck, then you move into ChatGPT to help you solve a problem, but you continue to work on your product outside of ChatGPT. And that's a way to get around it. So we'll continue. All right, so infringement of intellectual property rights using AI generated output may potentially infringe the intellectual property rights of others, and users may be held liable. This is legalese, but for example, language models could copy another's work excessively or create a derivative work. Users of ChatGPT are required to indemnify OpenAI against any potential claims. So I haven't really seen this yet, where somebody has actually, like ChatGPT has copied word for word somebody's input and shared it with another person, and they've, unless you're actually telling ChatGPT to copy something, I don't think you're going to run into this issue. This is something that OpenAI has to, advise by their attorneys to say this type of things so that they're held, they're not held liable. And then confidentiality. The OpenAI terms of use do not guarantee, this is important, does not guarantee confidentiality for the user's input. So users are advised not to put sensitive or confidential information into the language model. So they use, all your inputs are used for training data, and they don't promise that they're protecting it. So things like trade secrets and other things like that. And you see that from some companies that right now they actually forbid their employees from using ChatGPT because they're afraid that the information might get leaked somehow. But like I said before, it's like, you can still use it unless you're working on something secret and you really don't want it to get out. More than likely, it won't even get out, even if it is secret, because of the nature of how much information ChatGPT is processing. But it's something to be aware of. Using ChatGPT to create intellectual property. So this is what they said. Despite the aforementioned issue, ChatGPT can be a valuable tool for generating ideas, enforcing existing intellectual property rights. However, users should verify the accuracy of the generated content and adjust it as needed. So this is what I like to key in on, is adjust as needed. And I talked about this earlier in the week, is ChatGPT can hallucinate or lie, but I have found it to be pretty accurate when I've been working with it, even with historical things. But it's good to know. Oh, and I'll go back. So be careful about fact finding. And I talked about a lawyer who used it in his case. Maybe I only brought that up in the VIP, but all right. So don't use it as an attorney. Here's a bit differences from ChatGPT and GPT-4. And I won't go through everything, but the biggest thing is like the parameters that it's trained on. So if you're on GPT-4, uses trillions of parameters, which is actually hard to wrap your mind around. And then GPT-3 uses 175 billion parameters. So the more parameters means the better the model. So you're going to get a better concise responses and better thought out and well-reasoned. So that's why you might want to just pay the monthly fee for GPT-4 to get that. And also performance. So performance is, it says in GPT-4, not only is it outstripped its predecessors, but best selected learning models on traditional benchmarks for machine learning models. And problem solving, GPT-4 is much better at it. Mistakes, so the hallucinations that we talked about, right? It hallucinates approximately 40% less than GPT-3. So be aware of that. If you're using GPT-3, it's going to be less accurate. Coding ability, so if you want to attempt to code something, assisting with exams, similar, and so on. All right. The value is in the prompt. This is important. You must control the direction of the conversation to get meaningful answers. Quality of the question determines the quality of the response. Your ability to use well thought out and written prompts will determine what value you can extract from ChatGPT. And you think of ChatGPT as probably, yes, the smartest person you ever talked to, but you can only get good content out of it with what you ask it. So if you have poor written questions, you're not going to get as high quality a response. And here's an example. You're a business guru specializing in Facebook ads. You have identified that your target audience consists of busy professionals who struggle to balance their work and personal lives. What are some best practices for designing an effective Facebook ad for a time management product that will help those professionals solve the problem? So as you can see, the more detailed of the prompt, you get a great answer. You get clearly communicate the problem, highlight the benefits, use eye-catching visuals, clear and concise messaging, and so on. Okay, so based on that prompt, have ChatGPT provide you a few ad ideas. And that's where it comes in. You can say, hey, I want a few ideas based on this prompt. And then it will give you multiple ideas, a Facebook ad for time management product that helps busy professionals achieve work-life balance. Talks about an image you might use, and then a headline, and then the copy of the ad. As a busy professional, it can be tough to juggle work and personal responsibilities. And of course, it will continue with a call to action, which is important. And then another image. So it builds your ads for you. And this is so powerful for any online marketer. If you do anything online, just to have ChatGPT build things out for you. All right. Tips for prompting. Number 1, role prompting. So act as a. Role prompting involves providing ChatGPT with specific information about the role or perspective you want it to take when answering your question. By providing this information, you can help ChatGPT tailor its responses to better meet your needs and provide more relevant and accurate information. Role prompting can be particularly helpful for complex or specialized topics where a generic response may not be sufficient. So here are a few examples of role prompting, and role prompting really does work when you're wanting to get specific answers from ChatGPT. You can say, be a medical professional, legal expert, business owner, a parent, or any other perspective relevant to your question. You can use role prompting to help you gain a deeper understanding of a topic by seeing it from different angles or perspectives. And it's also important to keep in mind that role prompting is not a foolproof method, right? And there may still be limitations to the accuracy and relevance of ChatGPT's responses, but it's a very useful tool for getting more out of it. Number 2, clarify purpose and focus. So clarity, right? Clear and focused prompts help ChatGPT better understand what information is being requested and provide more accurate and relevant responses. Without clear direction, ChatGPT may provide vague or off-topic responses, leading to confusion and frustration. And maybe it's like your spouse. I don't know, but maybe they don't respond the way you want them to. Not my wife, she always does. I'm the one that might not respond correctly. But focus prompts can help ChatGPT identify key themes or topics and provide more in-depth and insightful responses. So a well-crafted prompt can help ChatGPT better understand the context and purpose behind the request, which leads to more helpful and personalized responses. So that's a prompt example. As a business expert, you have been tasked with creating an online social media plan for promoting the snore silencer. You might remember our product we created earlier this week for men who need to stop snoring. Develop a social media marketing outline that includes the points of emphasis for maximum growth as well as delivery format. So you can see it with that detailed prompt, you get a detailed response. Use precise, relevant language. So precise, relevant prompts help to ensure that ChatGPT understands exactly what information is being requested, leading to more accurate and helpful responses. So this helps to eliminate ambiguity and prevent misunderstandings, leading to a more efficient and effective conversation. So it helps you, target more useful insights, avoiding the need for ChatGPT to provide irrelevant or extraneous information. And you can read this prompt about the snore silencer. I'm giving details on it, which helps ChatGPT, right? And then providing more detail about I wanted to market the snore silencer on social media platforms. Additionally, I'm interested. So it continues on for there. But using this precise, relevant language for your product or business will help you get a good response. All right, avoid overly broad or open-ended prompts. Overly broad or open-ended prompts can lead to confusion and misunderstanding, as ChatGPT may not understand what specific information is being requested. Just like in real life, how if we ask a general question, we're probably going to get a general answer, right? But if we ask a detailed question that is concise and specific, you're going to get a better response. And this helps ChatGPT identify key themes or in-depth, insightful responses, avoiding the need for overly general or vague responses. And you can see here, well-defined prompt, what are the key steps involved in creating an effective business plan for launching a brand new physical product with an emphasis on online sales, but also launching into brick and mortar stores. So you're going to get a full explanation on maybe some strategies for online sales and also your brick and mortar stores if that's what you're interested in. Okay, simplify complex concepts. The prompt example is, what is Einstein's theory of relativity? Explain it like I am 5, which I love. I just love this, how ChatGPT can do this. So simplifying complex concepts can help to make them more accessible and understandable to a wider audience. And I think most of us don't understand Einstein's theory of relativity. So explaining like it's 5, that's nice for me. So providing clear and concise language can help to avoid confusion and make it easier for people to grasp complex ideas. Using analogies or real-world examples can help to illustrate complex concepts in a way that is easier to understand and remember. So you avoid jargon and technical things. So Einstein's theory of relativity is like a really cool puzzle that helps us understand how things move and how time works. Imagine you're on a train and you're bouncing a ball. To you, the ball looks like it's bouncing up and down, but to someone watching from the outside the train, the ball looks like it's moving forward and backward too. This is because everything is moving in different ways and it can be hard to tell what's really happening. Pretty powerful to help explain complex concepts that before ChatGPT might be hard to find an answer to. Okay, output text in the style of your favorite author. This is really cool, and I showed this a little bit earlier this week. Is if you have somebody that you like the way or style that they write in, you can have ChatGPT write in that tone of voice or way. And so here the example is, write me a poem about birds flying high in the sky in the style of Edgar Allan Poe. And then it'll write a poem that way. So output text in the style of a favorite author can add unique and creative flair to written work. Mimicking an author's writing style can help create a more immersive and authentic reading experience, making the text feel more like a natural extension of the author's work. So it can also help you capture the essence of an author's style and create a more compelling and engaging narrative. Number 7, make sure you have fun. You can have fun with ChatGPT. So, this is a disco party. Some of you may have gone to a few of these in your day. Not calling anyone out here, but I unfortunately was not old enough to go to these. And I'd love to know if you have been, but I also haven't seen Saturday Night Fever, which this is an AI generated picture from that movie. But you can have it right, explain what a roller disco party were as though you were John Travolta's character from Saturday Night Fever. And so it can explain in an insightful but also fun way. So if say you're a teacher and you want to have a fun explanation for a lesson that you're teaching, this is a cool way how ChatGPT can partner with you. And that's what I want to get across. ChatGPT can partner with you in any area that you are an expertise in and help you make it come more alive and more creative. And this is part of that process. All right, build your personalized style guide and consistent tone. This can be super powerful. If you're already a writer or have written content, you can have ChatGPT learn your personalized style guide and tone and help you ensure consistency in all written communications, regardless of who is authoring the content. So if you want ChatGPT to create things in your voice, your tone of voice, and the way that you would say something, you just start feeding it. You start a conversation and you feed it stuff that you've already done, emails even, and you can have ChatGPT write in a way that you would write. And this is really powerful. So when you want to write something new, if you're writing a blog and ChatGPT has read, 30 of your blogs, and then you want to write a new blog about a new subject, it can write it with your tone of voice and the way that you write. It's incredible. So it's really replacing a lot of time and effort that you might have already needed to put in, but no longer need to. So it can be trained to recognize specific language and messaging that is consistent with your brand identity, helping to maintain a consistent tone and voice across all interactions. And by using a personalized style guide, ChatGPT can be trained to use specific vocabulary, phrasing, and formatting that is unique to your organization, helping to reinforce your brand identity, establish a distinct voice in the marketplace. And over time, ChatGPT becomes more familiar with your style guide and tone. It can be trained to provide even more personalized and targeted responses that are tailored specifically to your organization's needs and preferences. You don't have to be an organization. It can be just an individual. But that's powerful. Okay, ChatGPT, tip number 9, keep it conversational. I found this most helpful when I interact with ChatGPT. It is designed to have natural conversational interactions. So by keeping it conversational, you can help create a more natural and engaging interaction. And it can be quite human-like in its responses. So by using conversational language and tone, it creates a more approachable and user-friendly experience, and can help reduce the cognitive load on the user. So anyone using it, making it easier for you to understand and process information that's being presented. So, hey, ChatGPT, what are some fun and unique date ideas for rainy day? My partner and I are trying to plan something special, but the weather isn't cooperating. We're looking for ideas that are creative and memorable, but also don't require us to be outside in the rain. Any suggestions? And then, of course, ChatGPT has been trained to be nice. I'd be happy to help. Here are a few fun and unique ideas. And have a movie marathon, cook a fancy dinner together. And that's another thing. If you want to write a poem or something for a loved one, you can have ChatGPT help you on that as well. Number 10, play the skeptic. So having ChatGPT play the skeptic can help to identify potential weaknesses or gaps in a product or service, allowing for further refinement and improvement. So by playing the skeptic, ChatGPT can help to identify potential objections or concerns that users may have, allowing for these issues to be addressed proactively. And that's with ideas as well. So this can also help to create a more engaging and thought-provoking conversation, encouraging the user to think critically and engage more deeply with the content being presented. By considering different perspectives and engaging in a more rigorous evaluation process, ChatGPT can help to create more effective and impactful solutions that better meet the needs of users. So this can actually really help in building credibility, establishing stronger brand reputation, and such. Okay, number 11, use descriptors where possible. What are some thought-provoking nonfiction books on the topic of mindfulness and meditation? So the added adjectives of thought-provoking, nonfiction, and on the topic of mindfulness and meditation make the question more specific, tailored to your interests, increasing the chances of you getting the response that you're looking for. So you include descriptors and prompts can help to create more specific and targeted responses from ChatGPT, allowing for a more effective and efficient interaction. This better helps ChatGPT understand the user's needs and preferences, of course, allowing for more personalization. Descriptors can help avoid confusion or ambiguity. And there you go. It's a great question. Here are some thought-provoking nonfiction book topics on the topic of mindfulness and meditation. And a cool thing about ChatGPT is you can have ChatGPT summarize books for you, give you highlights. If there's a book that you wanted to read, you haven't gotten around to, I've tried it before and it's given me, the top 10 points on what the book was about and, the key takeaways. It's pretty powerful. You should try and play around with that. And for those authors out there, maybe ChatGPT read your book. I don't know. Okay, so create a story for your customers. Great storytelling sells, of course, right? Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter, Star Wars. Well, mostly just the original 3 movies. I don't like the other ones as much, but everyone loves a good storytelling. Good news, you don't have to be a writer anymore. You can be, but you don't have to be. And ChatGPT can help you write if you want to be a writer as well, and just have ChatGPT help you along. Stories, help create a more engaging and memorable experience, making it more likely a customer will remember and share their positive experiences with you. And this is a story created to help highlight the benefits of Snore Silencer, which is the product we created. And you're looking for something that's emotional and relatable. And ChatGPT comes out and pumps out a story. And if it's telling a story, a lot of times it starts off with once upon a time. And you can have a negative prompt and say, hey, don't start with once upon a time. Write it in this format or write it in this way. Number 13, add the TLDR to generate a short summary of your text, which is, too long or didn't read. So I just used the story we created and I did the too long DR, and ChatGPT helped summarize and distill the complex information to a more digestible format. So the story is about, and it just gives you, the short version of it. So you can ask ChatGPT to use an instructional design model. I just used the social media plan and it can do it, but you weren't able to do graphs or charts. So I tried that, but you can have it present the information in a table or format, or a table format. So you see, I have these social media platforms, I have goals, I have strategies, tactics, metrics, and it can organize information for you really quickly. Okay, have ChatGPT create emojis for you. So when you're writing content, it can make it more fun and engaging. And this is what I did for the challenge as well. When I was having it help me write emails and different content for this, challenge, it included emojis in there. And then it makes it just a little bit more fun, spices up an email or something else that ChatGPT can help you with. All right, translation assistance. ChatGPT is not a dedicated translation tool, but you can use it to provide basic translation or localization services for clients looking to expand their content into different languages. So I tried this with Spanish, and I thought it came out pretty good. I double-checked with also Google Translate, and they were saying similar things. But ChatGPT can also translate, this is key here, idioms into other languages with meaning. So if you say, translate the English saying, loose lips sink ships, which my dad loved to say that growing up. But and then you ask it to provide a translation that is appropriate for Spanish-speaking students learning English, and avoid using idiomatic expressions or cultural references that may not be familiar to this audience. When you use that prompt, you're able to translate even those types of things. So let ChatGPT help you. I need to write a pitch to potential investors for my Snore Silencer. Are there any questions you want to ask me before you write the pitch? This is really key and helps you a lot when you're using ChatGPT. If you're looking to spice up an email or something else, ChatGPT can do it by asking questions. So it can help you to better understand the user's needs and preferences, allowing for a more personalized and relevant response. Questions can help clarify any confusion or ambiguity in the user's initial prompt, ensuring that ChatGPT is able to provide a more accurate and useful response. So if you follow up with questions, you can identify any gaps or weaknesses in the user's initial request, allowing for further refinement and improvement. But let ChatGPT ask you some questions. Maybe you don't even know the questions you need to ask. If you have a task, ask it to ask you questions before you start. Okay, and here's number 18. You can use task definitions. I need to write a pitch to a potential investors for my snore silencer. This pitch should be designed to demonstrate the usefulness of the product and create a clear understanding of the target audience, etc. So using task definitions can help to provide a clear and specific guidance for ChatGPT, allowing for a more targeted and effective response. Task definitions can also help to improve the overall efficiency and effectiveness of the interaction by providing clear and actionable guidance. And you can see its task gives you task 1, introduce the product and the benefits, identify the target audience and market size. And I don't know if you guys saw what I posted today in the Facebook group, but ChatGPT was shown to be 3 times more effective at people in pitch writing to get funding from potential investors. So 3x, 300% more effective than you or I. Maybe not the best pitch writers, but this is overall. And so think about the power of ChatGPT. All of a sudden, you become an expert in pitch writing because you have ChatGPT to help you do it. Okay, format the answer. ChatGPT can generate a variety of formatting options, including plain text, bulleted, numbered lists, paragraphs with headings and subheadings. And like I showed you, those tables and hyperlinks to external sources, quotations, and citations. And then this is what I said for my prompt. I'm looking for a comparison table that highlights the features and benefits and pricing of various anti-snoring products. So I put that in, and the snore silencer is included because I trained ChatGPT on it. But then it started including real products: Z Quiet, Smart Nora, Vital Sleep, Good Morning. And then you can do a product analysis in seconds. It's really awesome. Okay, you might want to take a picture, screenshot of this. This is what I like to call the perfect prompt. And we're putting it all together here. If you ask ChatGPT, it has any question, and I already talked about that, but this is the prompt that I like to use. So you're an expert in, you fill in the field of expertise, and your tone should be, you give it a desired tone. I am and then you give it a role, identity, and I need your assistance in describing the task you want the AI to do, the intended audience for this task, the main goal, and then you would like to include key points or sections. Please provide a response in the form of describe the list, essay, bullet points about how long, and make sure to include the list any specific data or examples you want the AI to use. So you're an expert in the field of sleep solutions, specifically for snoring. You're speaking to a tired and frustrated audience who are in desperate need for a peaceful night's sleep in a sympathetic and persuasive manner. Please write a compelling video script that introduces the product snore silencer. Explain its benefits, how it works, and why it's the ultimate solution for anyone struggling with snoring. And this is the result. Narrator, we've all been there. You're longing for a peaceful night's sleep, but snoring stands in your way. It's frustrating, isn't it? There's the empathy. Snoring can be the thief of tranquility, the invader of dreams, turning what should be a haven of rest into a battleground. If you notice the quality of the response compared to the first one earlier, you can see when we asked it to write a story, it was kind of like a general, once upon a time. And now this, because of the type of prompt I gave it, is writing it completely differently. Then you cut to a scene of a man tossing and turning. But what if we told you that a solution is within reach, a solution that could silence the snore and bring back the peace? Introducing the snore silencer, your ultimate ally in the fight against snoring. This tiny device is a powerhouse that's specifically designed to combat the root causes of snoring, ensuring that you and your loved ones can enjoy uninterrupted, restful sleep. And the thing I love about ChatGPT here is, as it is giving a narration, it gives you ideas for transitions and also for scenes that you might want to show with graphics or different pictures. So it's helping you create an ad. Okay, so this is AI PRM. you might want to install this. This is a plugin you can use for ChatGPT, and it will provide a lot of help in if you want prompting help. It can write content calendars and different things with one click, and it has a lot of prompts built in that are used by other users. It's been downloaded by over 1 million users, and so it's something you might want to consider attaching. You can find it in the Chrome extension Google Store. Okay, I would like to bring on Joe Librero. He's our guest for tonight. And I'm going to make an introduction and then I will showcase him. But Joe Librero, digital marketing and software development and agency owner. He is the founder of Social Lead Legends or Lead Gen, sorry about that, and APT software. He is a dynamic entrepreneur with a passion for digital marketing and software development. With his extensive experience in these fields, Joe has made it his mission to help businesses grow by connecting them with high-quality leads and creating cutting-edge software solutions. Based in the Philippines, Joe is a devoted family man, happily married with 2 children. His unwavering commitment to helping businesses thrive is unmatched only by his dedication to his family and community. In a rapidly changing digital landscape, Joe Librero is a leading force for innovation and success. And so he's on the front lines of using AI. Let's find where Joe is. I gotta spotlight him. What did he? Well, we did have him in here. Let me set. I did see him join earlier. We might have lost him. Just a second. Let's see if he's on. All right. Seeing if I can get him on real quick. And if not, he might have to just join the VIP because I know he had something to do. Okay, while we're waiting for him, let me show you a little bit more on ChatGPT. How to structure conversations. Okay. All right. So you see my screen. This is how I like to structure. When you're talking to ChatGPT, I like to structure it into conversations. So I can go into more detail on this later, but I like my conversations to be organized into the kind of expert we want. So social media GPT, a plugin conversation, AI business launcher. So when I was doing all of my creation of the AI business launcher with ChatGPT, first of all, I started out training it. And let me go to the top of the conversation with. Okay, so here's the prompt I trained my social media GPT on. I need you to be the following. You are now my social media manager for AI-based business content. As an experienced social media manager with expertise in creating captivating Instagram Reels and TikTok posts, you are to help me showcase my AI-based business building strategies. I will provide details about my target audience, key messages, and any specific AI tools or techniques you'd like to highlight. You will offer guidance on content ideas, video formats, and best practices to maximize engagement and reach on both platforms. Let's work together to create compelling educational content that resonates with aspiring entrepreneurs and demonstrates the power of AI in business. So as you can tell, you need to start with an education because you want it to be specific to your goal. And so the more that you train your GPT model and in that conversation, and you don't want to, muddy the waters with new conversation inside this one, because then the ChatGPT model will be, talking about different things. You want to try to stay on point. So it responds with this and thanks me for this. Excited to help me, of course. But this is the cool part. It asked me to get started, please provide me with the details about your target audience, key messages, and any specific AI tools or techniques you'd like to highlight. Based on this information, I'll offer guidance on content ideas, video formats, and the like. So as you can tell, when you train ChatGPT this way, you're going to get a fuller, better, detailed response on what you want from it. All right, Joe is here. I just saw he came in.
Hi, everybody.
Welcome, Joe, everybody. I already made introductions. I thought you were in I didn't look. I thought you were in there and then you were gone.
I was
like,
waiting
oh,
for your message.
yeah, no problem. Just a second, I'm blurry. Let me set that back up. Okay, cool, we're good. So welcome, Joe. Joe, so we are talking about the power of AI. And I would love to get your thoughts on AI in general, just to start. But so let me start with this. AI advancements have been met with, both optimism and apprehension, right? And from your perspective, are there any ethical considerations or potential drawbacks that we should be wary of as we integrate AI specifically into our businesses?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a lot of discussion, especially on like copyright, right? Is that who really owns the IP, right? Once you create something, I think that's a general consideration. I think for us who's using this technology, you just have to realize that you're responsible for whatever you're gonna put out there. AI is basically gonna help you, work with you on creating, whatever it is, like content or graphics or video. As long as you understand that there is, it's basically create, like the way it works, right? It has a model, right? It runs through whatever you're telling AI to do, runs through that model and spits out, like, I would say a decent output. You guys are probably using ChatGPT, pretty decent. Just really that understanding that you cannot blame ChatGPT. So a general practice that I do is actually just read through, review, and understanding that I'm responsible. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people out there who's like saying, hey, we can write a book using AI, and that's probably true. I did a demo not so long ago. I think with another AI challenge,
Right?
or another AI challenge, and I basically asked a ChatGPT to create like chapters and write the first chapter, which wowed everybody. But you really have to review that. So to me, I use AI, right? Specifically ChatGPT, number one, to brainstorm, to give me, aspects of, like, let's say, for example, we're launching a channel, and I did this with a lady. She wants to launch a channel, and we started with AI and say, like, what is it? Because sometimes you come into a project and you really have an amorphous blob of ideas, right? And you want to make sure that once you put it in, I mean, you want to have some level of organization, and definitely AI can help you do that, because it has a model that it goes through. And you know what, we did that. We started with, what's this channel all about? Like, what are the other ways to think about the channel? And to me, like, one is a brainstorming tool. And most of the time I create copy on the landing page, because you probably don't know, but I build landing pages. I build, especially for challenges. Sometimes the client would say, like, I don't know what to place here, right? But can you help me out? So I would just say, okay, let me just, I grab ChatGPT, put some input there. And then of course, I tell the client like, hey, can you review this? Right.
Right.
And usually, again, the other thing I use it for, the most frequent one is creating bio. Like the bio that I posted on the challenge was actually from
Yeah.
ChatGPT, right?
Incredible.
Yeah, and it looks nice. I did remove a portion of it, but I think the hard part of creating bio, for example, especially for yourself,
Yeah.
is that you don't want to come across as like you're bragging at the
Yeah,
same time.
exactly. I'm this great
At the
person.
same time,
We love you.
yeah, exactly, right. And you can actually tell ChatGPT, make it sound, like funny or casual, make sounds, which is really good. Like depending on the event that you're in. I mean, again, that's how I use it, and having this understanding of, yes, I'm responsible for this, and I have to review this, right? And then because you're putting it out there under your name anyway.
Right. And I agree. And so it's kind of like picturing it as an employee, right? So they're producing it under your company name and all those things. And so as you, the boss or manager, owner of that company, you want to make sure that it's in alignment with your vision, your goals, and also like the message that you want to create. And so if you're just pumping out things and your employee's doing it on behalf of you, just like an employee, ChatGPT is going to get, might get blamed, but it's your fault, right? You'll be the one with the final blame. Your company will get blamed for it as well. And even working with clients. And that's why you, which rightfully so, say review, right? Look at this, make sure it's something that you want. So I would like to move on and say, what's your take on the argument that AI might replace human jobs? Do you see it more as a job creator or a job destroyer in the long run?
It will create, I mean, we already know this even before AI. Machines will replace some jobs, and this is not new. I mean, if you look at, I don't know, I did some research years back. I don't know if you know this, but there used to be a job that basically they light the lamp on the streets every night. Do you know that? Like,
I'm aware of that. Yeah.
It blew my mind that that job has existed.
I know. That's crazy.
Right? And think about that. Like someone out there every 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in the evening would, get on their horses. I don't know how it would look like, but they're basically lighting up the streets. And so we already know this. And so I guess what I think we don't know yet is how fast and what specific job will be replaced. Now, I think where the machine can it would be difficult, where it would be difficult to replace the machine is like the creativity aspect, the deeper understanding of the business, the direction, the vision, because to me that's uniquely you. And so to me, I would say I see AI as like something that augments your creativity. And yeah, it does. I would say, yeah, I build funnels. Eventually, I think this is what will happen. There will be an AI out there where you just put in all the input and it will build the funnel for you. Right? So to me, I'm not afraid of that, because people will still need like what's like guidance, or at least like creativity. I get the creativity. That's where I think we can come in. We focus on what's important. We focus on the things, just like hiring. I love your idea of using ChatGPT is like an employee, right?
Right.
Because it's really this. It's focusing on the things that only you can do, the highest value of your time.
That's so key.
And yeah, it's so key. Like I am not, before ChatGPT, I'm not confident of my copy. After ChatGPT, I'm still not confident of my copy, but at least someone is like writing it for me and I'm like reviewing it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I love that conversation, because one thing you need to learn as an entrepreneur is that you spend your time on income producing activities. Because when you spend your time getting bogged down in the weeds, you're like, wow, I did all these great things today. But if you review your day, and any good entrepreneur should do this, you should review your day and categorize every single thing you did that day, how long it took you, and start analyzing your schedule and saying, okay, this is how long I spent this, this, and this. Then you look at each task and you say, what was this producing? What was this producing? And you're going to find that, you know, part of your day produced 90% of your dollars, your dollar creation, the value, the content. And so you're going to find that there's a lot of things that maybe you shouldn't be doing. And ChatGPT is a tool to get you past those types of activities that you shouldn't be using your time on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really time saving. I know there's a lot of discussion. I think it's just trying to be more cautious, right? Of like, okay, where will this technology take us?
Right.
I think the other thing I would say that's important conversation is just expect that work, the definition of work will change
That's so true.
faster than before, because pre-internet, I like most of us here probably we were already, you know, born during the time, right? There was no internet. Like work has been different, right? When internet came in, like research has been faster.
Yep.
Like, because like we can just Google other work and like read through what they're doing.
Yeah, the learning curve.
The learning curve is faster, but at the same time, like think about, like my wife used to do this a lot. Like if there are symptoms, she would like type in the symptoms and just like the thing with that is actually there were no models. It will just give you what's the publication that's out there. AI basically groups them together and like somehow tell you like these are the models, the existing models for the symptoms. So diagnosis, for example, I don't know if it's for the
you're
good or
fine.
not.
If you type in any like cold symptoms, you're basically dead. That's what the internet will tell you. So.
Yeah, but with AI, for example, I will give you the models. Like there was one of my employees sent me her medical certificate or something like that. The doctor saying this is what, and I didn't know the terms, right? Because this she's a female, and this is like female stuff. So I tried like asking ChatGPT what it is, and like, oh, okay, so now I have a better understanding.
Yeah.
And you know what? The interesting part is if I've done that with like just doing a regular Google search, I will probably not understand it. But like ChatGPT, like because it has like a human, try to be human, it tries to be human, so it
Right.
gives you that a human explanation. But yeah, I mean, interesting time.
I agree. Okay, so I actually want to move this conversation over to VIP, and I'm going to get more into detail about your business and how you start, you know, capitalizing with ChatGPT in your business. If there's anyone here that doesn't have the link, make sure you message me. But thank you so much for joining me. And I want to share a few more slides. Please don't leave. Just a second. Pull this up. All right. Okay, so see, we did introduce you, Joe. I didn't lie. So the recap here, the power is in the prompting. So what you put in determines what you get out. And you're only limited by your imagination, really. And of course, the limitations that I mentioned above, but it's really limited by what you want to get out of it. So homework, use ChatGPT, create something for yourself, a business plan, an AI-generated blog post for your business or product idea, social media content calendar. You can also use AI PRM. You sign up at chat.openai.com and post your homework in the Facebook group. And tomorrow, we will see you for creative AI tools. And I'm going to go a deep dive with Midjourney and some other ones. And we're going to show you how to capitalize on that as well. So thank you so much for everybody. And we'll see you tomorrow for day 4 of the AI Business Launcher Challenge. And I will get everyone else the links. And Joe, you can head on over there. I'm going to finish up here, give the links to everyone. And let me pull this up. Okay, VIP link, just a moment. Okay, Nikki. Oh, time tomorrow, same time. So 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay, did I get everybody? Anyone else? Anyone else? Okay, Frankie, yeah. Anyone else need the link? Make sure I get you guys in there. Okay. All right, if that's it, I'll see all the VIPs over. Oh, where do you get the link? If you paid for VIP, you paid for VIP, right, Jacqueline? Yeah, yeah, so here we go. Send it your way. Did you get it? Make sure you copy that link. I'm gonna close it down after you guys copy it, and then open up your new channel. Okay, everyone else? No one else? No more takers, right? All right. See you over in VIP.